Warning, this podcast contains an episode directed by Ian Somerhalder. I
And
can't
green
talk.
screens.
And green screens?
And green screens.
Not yours green screen, B.
No.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for the Vampire Diaries, Season 7, Episode 16, Days of Futures Past, aka X-Men. I'm your host, Dom. With me is Mike, Nikki, and Kim.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going? No, B, we were not referring to your green screen. We were referring to the green screen that Stefan and Valerie were vacationing at.
Yeah.
You know, that lovely beach green screen that they were
The Philippines.
The Philippines, yeah.
Philippines.
That was so blatantly green
Guys.
screened.
Come on, guys. You know filming on location costs money.
Then why make them go there? They didn't
Because
have
it's
to.
important to the plot.
Sure.
All right.
So I guess let's get the
Oh, that's worse.
I don't know what the hell is wrong with this. I'm trying to, there.
Okay.
let's get the elephant out of the room. What the fuck happened to Stefan?
You know, up until about 10 minutes ago, I thought I was hosting this, and I wrote in my notes in gigantic letters, where the fuck is Stefan, in 36-point font.
I think it takes time to transition into the stone. And I don't think he was fully transitioned into the stone so that, his death nightmares could come back and be settled into that. I think he was actually forced out of the stone and someone else was forced into his body. That, the stone being shattered actually makes it unstable so things can get out easier.
Yeah, because I'm thinking the stone is like the prison world, and if the prison world doesn't exist because it was shattered, that everything was released and it just kind of went everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
We're zombies.
basically the first
I mean, if
Well, they
there
have
isn't
to pick dead bodies to go into.
if there isn't a vacant vampire intact body, there's no place for those souls to go. They will just poof.
So basically
Maybe.
the one that was either the quickest, the closest, or the luckiest by random chance is now in Stefan.
That's what
Yeah.
that's what I'm assuming.
It makes the most sense to me. I mean, we saw the sword go kapoof. We lost 2 more of our heretics.
They went kapoof.
Which heretic is your favorite surviving heretic?
The only surviving.
Now, I heard you asking this question hours ago, and I was thinking to myself, why is she asking that question? Only one of them's left alive.
Another one bites the dust.
If a plane crashes on the border of Canada and the U.S., where do they bury the survivors?
They don't, because they're survivors.
So who's your favorite surviving heretic? It's basically the same question.
Yep.
What are you talking about? Vampire Diaries is a soap opera. No one ever is dead.
I have yet to see any soap in this show.
Nor any opera.
Except for the Moonstone that was hidden in a bar
You know
of soap.
what? There was plenty of opera when Bo had his voice, so shut your mouth.
That's true.
Shit, you got me on that one.
That
All
is
right,
true.
I concede.
The Moonstone was hidden where a bar of soap should be, so
Good
This is
point.
true.
that's yeah. But anyway, yeah, so bye Mary Louise and Nora.
At least they had their relationship was really rocky, and then Nora was doing all these things to save Mary Louise, and Mary was just destined to die anyways because the poison, there was no antidote for it. They had a nice closing moment, and their relationship was tied in a knot and
And a bow.
in a bow.
They went
was-
out in flames together.
It was a
Exactly.
nice Romeo and Juliet kind of ending.
Not even a Romeo and Juliet. It was just both of them knew what they had to do, and they did it together, and they reconciled. And
I say Romeo and Juliet because it's the whole in the time and everything that they grew up in, same-sex relationships were very frowned upon. It was, like, you can't be together. Same kind of thing with Romeo and Juliet. The feuding families, they were not allowed to be together. And they both went out in suicide.
It wasn't family that was keeping them apart. It was
No.
the times.
Right, but it's the same. It's the same scenario.
No, not now, because they're in a completely different time. They could pursue their relationship. They were free to. It was Mary Louise being forced into the sickness because the Armory are a bunch of assholes and they were poisoning her because they wanted leverage over whoever cared for her, Nora, to do things for them.
Right. So just exactly the way Romeo and Juliet happened.
No, that's not exact.
No, you don't remember the Armory in Romeo and Juliet?
I have a
with the
strange
poison
feeling.
and no, you don't remember?
I'm starting to think you should just give up.
I have an odd feeling Dom's never read Romeo and Juliet.
I did actually.
He watched the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I've actually never seen the
that
movie.
makes it all better.
I've actually never seen the movie. I didn't know Leonardo DiCaprio was in Romeo and Juliet.
There's
Now
a
you
very,
know.
Guess who he was.
a very ridiculous
He
version.
was Juliet.
Very good.
Thank you. No, the last early movie of DiCaprio's I saw was The Man in the Iron Mask. So.
Okay.
I didn't know he was in that. No, but I just mean it's a similar story. It's not exact verbatim. It's the same thing. It's poison. It's a tragic death.
Tragedy. That's
Yes,
what you're saying.
it's
That's
the same.
That's the only string that's connecting
No,
them.
there's poison. Romeo and Juliet went out with poison.
Juliet took the poison of her own free will.
Okay.
That's different. Yes, poison.
I said
is
similarities. I didn't say exactly.
No one daggered themselves.
Yes, they did. They daggered themselves.
Stefan didn't dagger himself.
No.
He's talking about just Mary Louise and Nora.
They didn't.
They got daggered. Or who is it?
Destroyed
Mary Louise got daggered?
Fine. She got, like, her...
Yeah,
like,
see?
I don't...
It's the exact same telling of Romeo and
so it-
Juliet.
so it
I'm glad you guys
doesn't-
agree.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, what about Rhaena's blood being poisonous? That's kind of crazy.
Well, they didn't say that her blood was poisonous. They said the pills were made from her blood.
No, they did say that Morena's blood is poisonous to witches.
Yes.
Oh, they outright said that. Okay, I missed that part. I
They
thought they said
outright
the
said it.
pills were made from her
They were.
blood, as
And
in
The only
something else. I don't
the
know.
only reason why they were in pill form is because they were easier to, distribute and make Mary Louise take them.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, Enzo kind of has a weird reaction when he finds out about this.
Yeah.
I can give you 3 chances to guess, and you're probably only going to need one.
He's giving them to Bonnie to repress her powers. He doesn't realize it's poison.
Well, look at that. She only needed one.
I was going to say because she's like Juliet.
Is every relationship in the show Romeo
They're gonna be
and
now
Juliet?
because you fought at me with tooth and nail, so everything is gonna go back to it the whole rest of the podcast. So,
It's like
yeah.
Sleepy Hollow and Pandora's box.
hmm
You always go back to the box.
What's in the box?
What's in the
Yeah. So, what do you think is gonna happen with Bonnie now?
Well, Enzo's gonna work his ass off to make sure that his little relative niece or whoever the she is make an antidote. So he's gonna work at that. That's his goal right now. He wants to make sure that Bonnie doesn't die from this poison that he's been giving her.
Can I just say I really wanted Enzo to kill her? Or anybody to kill her after that? Like, you do this for me and I'll tell you everything I know about the antidote. It's like, or everything I know about the, healing her of that poison. And it's like, all right, I did what you wanted, give me the antidote. Never said there was. I said I'd tell you everything I know. And what I know is there's no antidote. We tried, but we failed.
Stupid bitch.
I mean, epic, great. I don't know how to put that. Great fucking over, dicking around, whatever. But
Well, it's true. She didn't say that there was one. She just knew what she knew. She didn't lie to him.
she didn't.
He just
Technically,
assumed.
no. Yeah.
And you know what happens when you assume.
You have a party?
With Romeo and
Yes.
Juliet.
Thank you, B. I'm glad
was
you
a
went
party.
there. I'm glad you went there. Yeah, no, but apparently there's no cure to the poison, just like there was no cure for Juliet and, and Romeo, and she had to suck the poison off his lips, It's kind of the same.
She took a vial of poison. She didn't do anything with Romeo. She was dead before he got to her.
No. She took a vial of some kind of
Pretend
medicine
poison.
to knock herself out and make her steam dead. He
had
took
the
the
poison.
actual poison.
Yeah.
Then she kissed him to suck the poison off, and when that didn't work, she gutted herself.
See?
Right.
Nikki, did you read the book, or did you watch the Leonardo DiCaprio movie?
I
Thank
did,
you.
and this
Thank
is
you,
my
Mike,
own
for
interpretation.
standing up for me for once.
You know what?
So-
It's still not fucking Romeo and Juliet. Go to hell.
I agree with Nikki.
Thank you for agreeing with me, Mike.
Your name suddenly Nikki?
Where's my froyo?
Fuck you.
So, yeah. The armory is all kinds of, like, crazy shit going on. It's like an internal battle and everything between them.
Mm.
Like, apparently, like, Matt is the one that busted Reyna out at some point.
Why'd you do
In
it,
the
Matt?
armor?
Asked Stefan Salvatore. Why? Sorry.
I don't get it. Like, we don't know exactly why Matt set Reyna free. We don't. We know it has something to do with Penny's death, but we don't
We
know.
can assume it
Yeah.
has something to do with Penny's death.
But we don't know exactly why or
Yeah, no
what
idea.
or, like, the causality. Like,
He's a moron. I don't know.
Within the next few episodes, I'm pretty sure that question will be answered.
It better be.
I mean, because they're still, playing around with the flashbacks and the flash forwards, and we don't really even know what fucking time we're supposed to be in right now, but it's happening, and the questions will be answered.
Mhm.
Not all of them, but the ones that are, we have to know how Matt did it. I mean, otherwise it'd be really stupid. Just Raina running around and whatever.
yeah, like, he really wanted Reyna to go after Stefan, and then we had, like, this episode, that really cool kind of psychic connection between Reyna and Stefan, and I think that was probably the most enjoyable part of this episode for me.
Hilarious.
It really was. When she kept calling him, talking to him on the phone, like an obsessed, but like it was like an obsessed girlfriend.
I think that's what she wants. She wants to be released from this constant battle and chasing people. She wants to be able to love.
Maybe now that the
Above?
sword is destroyed, that she'll get that. Maybe that was tied to the part of the curse, because that's how she hunted them. Without the sword, how is she going to hunt them? She can't mark them. She can't do anything.
She was, and it was the, as she said, the voice of the Phoenix Stone that was compelling her to do everything. Like, when she, like, laxed, it was always there in the back of her mind, nagging her, like, hey, remember that guy you stabbed? Go kill him. I want his soul.
And I mean, the stone can still call to her, and like I'm sure it will in little bits. It is shattered, but it's not destroyed.
Tiny little pieces, higher pitched voice, like, just have a soul. Or something stupid
turned
like
into
that.
not
Golem now?
Stitch. It's not Golem. It's not Stitch. It's a stone.
That was not Gollum.
It sure sounded like him.
It was not either. It was not the stone. That's definitely not. No.
It was me making a bad joke. Let's move on.
Yes. Thank you.
And so it's like you saw Stefan throw the sword, in the back of the truck so he could get away, which is very brilliant.
Her reaction was like, "You bastard." She's like, "Now I have to go get the sword, and then I'm chasing after you, and I'm gonna freaking stab you because you pissed me off."
Yeah. It's
was gonna
ingenious.
let you
But
live.
Stefan, why didn't you, like, throw it into a train or something instead?
Something that goes a lot faster and farther. Yeah.
You have vampire strength. Throw it into an airplane. Like, throw it to the moon.
Not that strong.
Throw it to the bottom of the ocean. No, don't do
I'd
that. She'd drown trying to get it back, then she'd die, and you would die as yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't
she
throw
would
it to
just,
the moon either, because she'd die of lack of oxygen.
she'd have to, convince NASA to launch her to the moon in the first place.
Or she could say, "Hey NASA, guess what? There's a thing on the moon, and you need to go get it. Because how the hell to get there? I don't know, but it's there. Woo, science!
Aliens!
That's the first thing NASA would think of. Aliens.
Look at this. You see the aliens put this little silver short sword with a big jet ass fucking ruby on the moon. Go get it. It's alien. Totally.
B is so done with these antics.
Hire me as your writers.
This show just got ridiculous.
B just got ridiculous. This is what happens when shows go on long breaks and we come back. We're just so like wound up and ridiculous waiting. Like this is what happens. All the downtime is just compiles up and we're just like insane now. Comes back next week, we'll be back to normal. But for now, like we're off the rails.
And I mean,
crazy
I mentioned this in pre-show, and I guess I'll mention it now. I was watching this show. I was just like, up until about halfway through it, almost exactly the halfway point, I looked over and I'm like, wait, what's going on again? All right, I'm watching the Vampire Diaries.
I'm with you on that because the way that they're doing the timings and the flashbacks and flash forwards is really crazy right now. It just seems like it's all over the place. At the very beginning of the season, it seemed like they were going, okay, this part's for the flashback, this part's for the flash forward, this part is for the present time. Now they're all over the place. You have to try and figure it out. Like, now they're in the past. Oh,
we didn't get any flash forwards this episode, did we?
No.
No, but
it was only the Stefan and Valerie flashbacks on the really terrible, shitty green screen.
I mean, now that
that B is using right now to demonstrate what it looks like that they were acting in front of.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, now that I've had time to process, and I mean, I wrote my own notes for this and all this other stuff, and really like think about the episode, it's more interesting. But my initial impression, as soon as it ended, was, wow, that was boring.
Well, the ending was really all there was. It was the setup to the end. That's what this was. It was the Stefan thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there was another thought that I had going through this whole episode, and it's like when Damon was he like chickened out of taking the mark, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna find a way, and then I was like, well, just give it to another random vampire, just like, whatever, and then they're like, it had to be a blood relative. All of a sudden, fucking Sarah Salvatore started popping into my head. I was like, is Damon going to see Sarah Salvatore right now? Like, is he gonna turn her into a vampire, give her the mark, and put it off onto her to save her brother or save his brother?
Could Sarah accept the mark even as a human? She is blood. I mean, and that.
No, I'm saying turn her into a vampire.
I know, but I'm
how
saying
would that
like
work?
If she was a human and she had the mark, there'd be no reason for Reyna to go on this spree because she's not a vampire.
Yeah,
I don't transfer the mark to a human.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that'd be a good loophole.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's got to be done to a vampire.
Well, of course,
supernatural mark in the first place, but like that was my workaround for Damon. That's what I thought he was going to do, because he's like, we're almost there. I'm like, where are you going?
I think he was just talking about the airfield.
Yeah,
he was tracking Stefan.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Damon had a little more time to sit there and think about it, that might have been an option for him. But I can't remember now if Damon even knows about Sarah. I know Enzo does.
Enzo and Stefan know about Sarah. I don't know if Damon does.
Yeah, I don't remember now.
I don't remember if he does.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be that long ago to go check. It was
last season.
Last season, yeah. Near the end. It was like the last half of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Enzo was like toying around with her life and everything. So I was like, because I'm always like, there had to be more to that. Because like, what was the point of setting her up? Sure, her story didn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, they're setting her up because blood relatives, they need those sometimes for spells. And as soon as they said, oh, it's got to be a relative, I was like, fucking Sarah Salvatore. It's the first thing out of my mouth. Like, didn't even hesitate. That was my first thought. So if that's my first thought, how is it not theirs?
There is a lot going on right now, and that's why I kept saying that it's like the way they're jumping around is really confusing. And I think even just trying to write this would be so hard. Like, where Julie wants to go, but like it's just, there's just so many paths and they're going all over the place. It's not like, reading the Game of Thrones book where every chapter is taking place at the same time, but it's different people. This is really everybody all over the place. Different times. So it's super confusing, and there's just a lot to take in.
I had to rewind it a couple times. Like, I had to go back and watch. I'm like, what is going on? Like, the very first, like, the whole first, I'd say, like, 20 minutes, it's just bounce, 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 bounce. I was like, what the fuck?
Bounce.
I mean, this season's definitely been a little harder to follow and keep up with than our previous track record with this show, but coming from an alumni of faithful followers to Lost, the show is not very difficult for me to keep up with.
Exactly. Well, you've had experience with timelines going all over the place and different people, but I'm saying that there wasn't room for Sarah right now, anyways.
No, not in the particular story, but for a loophole of a blood relative spell, like Stefan and Damon don't have any other blood relatives alive. She's literally their only one.
True.
Yeah.
So, if it can only be passed off to a blood relative, aka family, she's the only option outside of Damon. But Damon didn't want to take it because, fear of never seeing Elena again. And
Yeah, because the way that Reina explained it to him is like, by the time I die, which is exactly what's going, like, you'll be dead at the same time, which is when Elena's gonna wake up, and he's like, oh, shit, I don't want to do this.
Right. And then he kind of changed his mind, and then it was too late at that time, and Stefan's off in limbo now, so. But, I don't know, based on the previews for next week, it looks like that a separate vampire definitely is in Stefan's body. So.
Okay.
Do you guys have anything else for this episode before I read next week's synopsis?
Not really. I mean, we saw the bond grow between Valerie and Stefan. That's what the flashbacks were about. That to me wasn't that interesting. I'm not a fan of the Valerie-Stefan partnership. I mean, Valerie has become a more interesting character than she was.
You don't like her green screen?
B's green screen is so much better.
I don't know. Let me look through real quick. I don't see anything.
B, it actually looks like you are in the Bahamas right now.
Oh. Wow. You have an imagination.
I was really wanting, like, the Stefan Reina something going on there. I was leaning.
I was really hoping that was going to happen, because she seems to really, really taken a liking to Stefan, because she's like, I saw you be a normal person. You weren't a vampire. You weren't going around ripping people's throats open. You were a conundrum. I like you. Like
as far as, like, I like you. You make me laugh. I'll kill you last. What the hell?
What are you talking about?
nothing. There's nothing going on.
I don't know.
Nothing.
So, anything else for the episode then?
No. The closing bit I have is, where the fuck is Stefan? But we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, like, my best guess is that he got expunged or something from the stone when it shattered.
Expunged.
Does that work?
Yeah, it works.
B, why are you in the Bahamas?
Oh my god. That is so awesome.
B, how'd you get in the Bahamas? Your green screen looks better than theirs.
She's a witch.
Yeah.
Burn her.
No, take me with you.
Wait, you want me to burn you too?
No,
she is a witch. They're both witches.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't have those pills.
Grand Bahama Island.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so next episode is called I Went to the Woods. In the aftermath of his brother's fateful decision, Stefan awakens to find himself thrown into a life or death situation with only his basic instincts to rely on. With time working against him, he sets off on a journey of survival while forced to confront a lifetime of irreversible damage Damon has done to their relationship. Meanwhile, desperate to save his brother, Damon follows an unusual lead he has come across, while Matt sends Valerie to Dallas to enlist Alaric's help and search for Stefan. Finally, when Reina discovers the emergence of a new threat, she sets off on her own mission to find Stefan before the others do.
So Stefan is alive.
Apparently.
but he's not in his own body.
Mm-hmm.
Something the synopsis does not cover.
No, but the promo does. I'm sorry, but the promo
I know it does.
So is he back in time? Because it says, life and death situation, the basic instincts, with time working against him. He set off on a journey of survival while
He
forced
could
to
just
confront
be
a
in
lifetime of
another.
irreversible damage.
He could be in another dimension or world or something that's collapsing. Like maybe he's still in the stone, and the world that the stone is in is falling apart around him.
Maybe, that darkness that got Catherine is chasing him now because he's not linked to Earth anymore.
It could be.
That's very possible.
I would love that. I would love that to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we get some more coherency and sense in the next episode because Julie Plec directs it.
Yeah. I mean, Ian did an amazing job with this episode. He had to deal with what he got from the writers and so he did a great job.
I really enjoyed the episode. Like
it was good.
I don't think it jumped around too much. I don't know. I liked it, and I loved the cliffhanger. I thought it was great.
No, good cliff.
I just sat there like stunned, and I was like,
it was just the beginning that had me all like, I was confused and I wasn't enjoying the episode, and then towards the end, towards later the other part of the episode, I'm like, okay, so I like this now.
I think a lot of that was the culmination of not only it coming back from a little break, but also the fact that it caught us up to the flashback timeline, so they kind of like threw everything at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's where we left off on the last episode before that, is it caught up. It was like fast forward showing everything, and now we're just like dealing with the aftermath of that. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of a lot to take in. So, yep, I think that about does it. Mm-hmm. Mike, where can the people find you?
Twitter, there, @Thilliton.
Excellent. Nikki, where can the people find you?
On Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Excellent. Kim, where can the people... Why are you in the Bahamas?
I'm on the beach. No, on Twitter at HUFFITYPUFFITY. And at the beach. Reading Romeo and Juliet. No. Sorry, I jumped on the bandwagon. Whatever.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. She just spit water, or whatever she was drinking.
No, I got it. No, I didn't.
You got it? You caught it? You can also find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV Podcast for some more of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Until next week. See you guys later.
Bye. Bahama.
Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take you. Key Largo, Montego. I know.
Better
Go drink some poisoned froyo.